What is up, guys, and welcome back to the vlog. In today's video, we're gonna show you how to change this old, dirty, gross looking valve cover and repaint it the best and easiest way. So in order to do this job properly, you're gonna have to pick up a couple things. Now, I just came back from AutoZone. Let me give you a little flashback here.
Here we go now. Batman scoop on the mic. Mix in the mix on the wheels of steel. This is what I was fucking born to do. Let's go.
All right, so as you guys saw, picked up some primer, picked up some of this gunmetal paint, picked up a can of clear, and most importantly is aircraft remover. Now this stuff is really dangerous, guys, so please be sure to read everything on the back. Definitely wear gloves, definitely be in a ventilated area when you use this stuff. It does burn your skin. On top of that, you guys are gonna need some brushes, some Carmex or some Vaseline, I'll explain that later, and a scuffing pad as well as some acetone. All right, so if you guys watched yesterday's video, you'll know we just installed this 3SX Performance engine kind of dress-up kit, which looks really, really nice. But I wanted to show you guys the best and easiest way to repaint this valve cover. So the first step of this process is to take this off. Just some 10mm bolts. Let's go ahead and just get that done. So if you guys have never pulled off the valve cover, this is what you're gonna see underneath. Obviously camshafts, you can see the valve springs, obviously the backside of the valves, the valve stems, and in those holes is where the spark plug goes. This is the timing belt here with the cam gears at the end. So if I didn't mention this before, this is a V6, and unfortunately or fortunately for me, you actually can only see one of the valve covers. The other valve cover is underneath the intake manifold. So for today's video, we're just gonna be focusing on this valve cover because this is the one that's in plain sight. All right, so I brought the valve cover outside. Now before we do anything, I need to remove the gasket, which is all the way around the perimeter of this, and it is really in there. All right, so I got everything outside here. Definitely this is the time where you want to put your gloves on because we're going to be dealing with aircraft remover. Now what I didn't explain before, aircraft remover basically is like a paint stripper, and it's really caustic and it will burn your skin. So you definitely don't want to get this on your skin. That's why you wear gloves. If you do happen to get some on your arm, go ahead and wash it off immediately because it really does hurt. So we'll go ahead and open this up. We're gonna pour it on. I have a little nylon brush here. So you can already see already, come here, Rick. Look at it bubbling up, and it's stripping the factory powder coater paint off. Now you can be pretty generous with this stuff, just don't get it on your skin. And you want to use the brush to get it everywhere.
This stuff looks crazy.
Yeah, it burns. We're gonna let this sit for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then we're gonna wipe it off, and then we'll use the power washer to get all the remaining stuff. Now I already got just a tiny bit on my gloves, and I can feel that it's burning through. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these off for now, get a new set when we take this off. Fast forward about 15 minutes, and this is what it looks like. Looks pretty disgusting. I actually realized I should have used the metal brush because the other one was melting, but you can clearly see that this has really done a great job at removing all of the factory paint. Any spots that have a little stubbornness, you can just scrape it all off. And I would say we're probably good with one application of this stuff, which is really cool. So this stuff actually works pretty dang well, so shout out to AutoZone for that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to finish this up, and then I'm going to wipe everything down with a rag. If there's any spots that still have a little bit of paint, I will do another application. So let me check in with you guys in just a few minutes. Alright, so the second coat is applied. As you can see, the first coat got about 75% of the original powder coat off. This is a very messy and dirty job, so definitely make sure you have a bunch of rags and extra gloves laying around. This stuff is really toxic and caustic, and I can already start to feel it to burn, so I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands. I will check in with you guys in about 5 minutes. And let's see if all the remaining black leftover powder coat is loose, which it looks like it is. So that's awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and set the camera down, finish this off, wipe everything down, and then spray it down with the power washer. So after a quick power wash, this thing looks freaking awesome. Honestly, I wouldn't be too upset if we even ran it like this. There's still a couple little spots that have some stuff, but that's why we got the Scotch-Brite. So let me go ahead and grab that, and we'll remove any remaining miscellaneous junk that's still left on this thing. Looking really good already. Now, one thing I did notice upon further inspection is you can actually see some of the casting marks. I'm not sure exactly what that's from, but it is not smooth, and we want a nice smooth finish on this. So I grabbed a sanding block. I'm gonna do two things with this. One is I'm gonna try to remove any of this unevenness. The second thing I'm gonna be doing is going over the letters and numbers in the same direction so it gives it a nice brushed finish. Alright, so quite a bit has happened since I last checked in, but honestly I just cleaned everything really well. I started masking off some of the bigger areas like the oil cap and some of these vacuum hoses here, as well as the spark plug holes. Now, one trick that I wanted to share with you guys that I have never seen anywhere else online, but I have developed over the years, is why we bought the Carmex. Now, I'm gonna set the camera down and I will show you, but essentially what I'm gonna be doing is putting the Carmex all over these brushed letters so that after we paint it, we can just wipe the paint off and we don't have to worry about sanding and potentially damaging any of this material that we just painted. So let me go ahead and set the camera down. I'll show you what I mean. So essentially what you want to do is put a nice thick coat of this on there, and this is going to prevent the primer and the paint from sticking, so that after you paint the valve cover, you can pretty much just wipe this off with a clean rag when everything is dry and you don't have to sand it. So hopefully you guys can see that, how thick of a layer I have, and you really want to focus on doing it really clean, because essentially anywhere where you touch that chapstick, it's not going to stick. So if you do by chance make a mistake, go ahead, wipe it off really thoroughly with acetone, and then you'll be good to go. So everything is all ready, and we are going to start with the first coat of primer. Now remember, if you guys have watched our previous videos, the first coat of any paint job, primer or clear coat or anything, is going to be super, super light. So let's go ahead and set you down, get started. So this is what coat one looks like, guys. Very, very light. You can still see everything through here. So let's go ahead and put on number two. This time it's going to be a little bit darker. Number three going on right now. I think this is probably going to be the final coat. I don't see anything really underneath the coating right now. Everything looks pretty smooth and uniform. There is some texture to the aluminum underneath, but you know what? I'm just gonna keep moving forward at this point right now. Nice meme, here we go. Coat number three. So about 20 minutes has passed, and now it is time to lay the first coat of the paint. So the paint we're using is VHT engine enamel. I let you guys know that you do not need to use super high heat. I actually just really like this color, and I didn't see anything that was similar for a lower temperature range, but this is good up to 550 degrees. I've pretty much used any type of paint and have never had an issue. So as long as you do the right prep, meaning you spray a primer, you do paint and clear coat, I think you'll be okay. So let's go ahead and shake the can up for a full minute and then lay our first thin coat. So as I mentioned, guys, your first coat is gonna be super, super light. So I'm gonna pick this up and show you guys how light I actually mean. You pretty much can see through the primer, all the way to the primer. So just keep that in mind. You can always lay them thicker and you can always do more coats, you know, within reason. But for your first coat, super thin, take your time, and let's wait another 5-10 minutes and start the second coat. Here comes coat number 2. All right, here comes coat number 3. So this surface is really awesome. It's actually very smooth. The paint has really nice metallic in it. So looking at, like, you know, the normal spots that you see, it's a really cool color. It's like kind of a mix between a like metallic gunmetal and almost a little hint of green, which I think will go really well with this car. So everything's coming out great so far. We're probably gonna wait another 5-10 minutes, toss on another coat. I think we'll probably finish with about 5 coats of this and then about 2 to 3 coats of clear. Coat number 4. All right, so this is the first coat of clear coat. All right, this is coat 2. And this looks so much better, guys. A little bit of orange peel, but as I mentioned, guys, there is definitely some texture in the cast aluminum valve cover, but man, that color looks great. Now it's a little cloudy today, so I don't think you can see the full color, but man, you can see the metallic in that. It's a nice uniform finish. And once those letters and numbers are brushed aluminum, it's gonna look so good. I think that's pretty much it. I put 2 coats of clear. The second coat was quite a bit thicker than the first, and now it's time just to let it dry. So I'm gonna let this cure for about an hour. I wish I had more time, but honestly, I gotta get this thing back out of the garage, complete and buttoned up within the next hour and a half, so I can edit and publish this video for you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and check in with you right after this thing is all dry. All right, so this has been curing for about an hour now, and unfortunately I'm under a time crunch and I actually have to unwrap and remove all the masking now. So I'm gonna be as careful as I can, not gonna touch the paint. I'm gonna touch it as little as I can. I can already tell this is a little bit tacky, and I hope I don't mess anything up. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of set the camera down. It's too hard for me to do this with one hand. So let's cross your fingers, I don't mess anything up, and wish me luck. Okay, so I just removed all the masking, didn't mess anything up, but as you guys know, I want to have the letters and numbers be brushed. I think I need to wait a little bit longer on those, so what I'm gonna do is go ahead and install a new valve cover gasket, toss it on the car, get everything all buttoned up. It's probably taking me about 30 minutes to do so, and then we're gonna tackle the letters when they're on the car. I forgot to show you guys how to clean up the letters. Essentially take the tip of a razor blade and just kind of lift up, and you see how cleanly that comes off. Now, you do want to be careful that you don't peel it because the paint is still soft, but this will all come off nice and easily, and you don't have to worry about scratching your paint. I'm gonna go ahead and put everything else back together and kind of do like a full reveal for you guys, so let me check in with you right after I finish everything. Guys, so that about does it for today's video. If you like what you saw in this video, or if you have any questions, definitely drop a line in the comments below. We appreciate you guys staying till the very end, and if you have not thought about it already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you guys in the next video.
The boys around the shop call me the OG. Because I've been working on cars like this for 20 years. And that's how I know that you're probably spending more money on car parts than I do. And that's pretty scary. Why not join Throtl's VIP program, where you'll save 10% off your new car part purchases. You're gonna get entered into our monthly insane drawings automatically. And best of all, you're supporting a group of guys that's passionate about the car scene. We're doing cool things in the car space, we're creating content every day, and we're making the car community cool again. Click the link below to join. We look forward to having you on the team.